I've never been more ready for anything in my entire life. Welcome to Fortnite Season 7. The best one. And for game number 1 in the best season of all time, we're dropping into the best location of all time, Polar Peak. I mean, it literally has peak in the name. It can't get any better than this, but I did kind of mess up my job. It's been a while. Polar Peak is a fantastic location. Gives you pretty much everything you could ever need every time, and I'm going to be dropping here a lot, so get used to it. All in all, game number 1 was very quiet. I didn't even run into anyone until I got shot at after I took a rift at a salty. And in my first fight on the first day of Season 7, I heard the sound of death. The sound of the spaz shotgun. I didn't make it too much further. Bus was smoking hot at Frosty Flights in game 2. Yeah, it's day 1 of the season, those sweats will never change. That's just the thing about recording on day 1. I was expecting to get shat on. Dropping into Happy Hamlet game 3. I like this place, but I don't come here a lot because the best product of the brilliance of the human mind is right next to it. Happy's great for loot, but it's honestly pretty confusing, and I haven't been here in a while. It was just a little default contesting Happy this time, and I shot him out of the air with an infantry rifle. Honestly pretty impressive. The infantry's kind of bad in Season 7. Happy's usually pretty far from the circle, but with nearby planes, that's hardly an issue. And I'm gonna say it right now, I don't care what any of you think, planes are good and fun. I like them a lot. I got a gold spaz out of a supply drop this game. This thing's kind of all you need to win sometimes. But obviously I don't know how to play with it like everyone else does. You know, it's fine. It's day 1. We live and learn. Well, in game 4, I didn't live, nor did I learn anything. Maybe the issue is I'm not intimidating enough, so I'm going with the sweatiest skin in Season 7. This is the peak of her rarity. I landed Wailing Woods, so you gotta know I'm decked out with some of the best loot imaginable. Minigun, AK, and of course, the spaz. This version of Wailing Woods is definitely in my top 3 favorite locations of all time, so just like Polar Peak, I'm gonna be dropping here a fuck ton in this video. I took the rift down to the Expedition Outpost outside Lazy Links, but there was already someone else there. I may have failed flight school, but nobody's gonna stop me from getting in the cockpit of my beloved X4 Stormwing. In hindsight, I definitely shouldn't have engaged in this fight, but I'm wearing Nog Ops, who can blame me? I can blame me. I didn't have gliders. Definitely should have just stayed in the plane. Viking Village. Always a good drop. And remember, it's honorary bot country. You can't fool me, Tier 1 Calamity. As I was gliding away from Viking, I got shot at, and when I tried to maneuver away, I got shot at by someone else. One of them was clearly a default in disguise, but don't worry, I did get dragged in front of the International Criminal Court for my crimes. Feel like I need to go full intimidation, so I'm running a skin that's impossible for normal people to get day 1, because you can't buy tiers. I have it though, so I'm flexing. It didn't work. I landed Shifty Shafts in game 8 and I picked up a couple of clean kills. Left Shifty a rich man like I always do, because it's one of my favorite locations. It's great. Towards the end, I went to pick up a plane near Lonely, and I know planes are expensive, but damn, you gotta take a whole human soul for one these days. Inflation is crazy. But after making a deal with the devil, I left with a brand new lease, 20,000 V-Bucks down. Not bad. Unfortunately, I don't have storm insurance, so I had to mug this default to be able to pay for my upped rates. At the end of the day, I just picked a fight with the wrong person. Late night games are always intense. Day 1 late night games even more so. One of my favorite things from LTN's 100 drops in Wailing Woods is the teleporter trap, and you have no idea how much I wanted to get it for this video. I knew there was someone in the bunker, and I knew he wanted to kill me, so I baited him through, went back through the trap, edited the wall, and he actually came through, and I got it! Let's go! Yeah! And then I died. 3rd place though. Not bad. Putting on Wick and landing the block in game 10, you can tell I want to win. The block always has a bunch of pallets randomly lying around, so it's always fantastic for materials. But there's also no floor loot, which means no shotguns. Yeah, the loot wasn't really win material coming out of the block this time. I did eventually find a shotgun. Not a good one, but I did kill a guy for a gold spaz with it. Though gold spaz isn't really good for anything if you get sniped. Well, it's no longer day 1, so hopefully it'll be a little bit easier now. I'm starting the day off fresh by defending my honor in Polar Peak. There are a few intruders, and unfortunately I spent all my money on plane insurance, so I gotta do all the security myself. Immediately after I killed that guy, I heard another man blow himself up. It was a default. The poor are not welcome here. Please see yourself out. Not sure what's with all the grenade launcher use this game. This isn't Season OG. It's not actually good here. The heavy sniper is good though, but this Calamity missed her shot. It looks like the lobbies are definitely easier compared to yesterday. It doesn't matter though. I still got 2nd place because I'm terrible at Fortnite. But in game 12, I know exactly what I need to win. So does this guy, apparently. We will be partaking in the sacred art of Mortal Kombat. I won! Now it's a 1v1 and I have a plane. I love the planes. I love Season 7, and I love murder! There's a lot more where that came from, but not in game 13. The only interesting thing to happen in game 14 was whatever the hell this guy was doing. Nice bait, still lost. I lost too, except in a much more embarrassing manner. Pump versus Scope AR should never end like this, but it just did. Later I found my way down in the rock garden next to Wailing Woods where I found the worst player I've ever seen on Era hands down. Oh, he's so cute. Too bad I have to kill him! I then perpetuated the circle of life by watching a man get sniped, then watching the man who sniped him dance on his corpse, then sniping him. Of course I had to dance on his corpse too. It would be very funny if I got sniped right now. Yeah, it would. I turned this game into a 1v1 by monkeying into this guy's box and shooting him as he tried to run away. Looks like this one's gonna end in a sniper battle. It's gonna be interesting. In the end, I didn't even snipe him. Honestly, I have no idea how I killed him. I guess that's why I always carry gliders, kids. In game 16, I saw my friend Jax was in the game and also contesting Polar Peak. It's now my life mission to kill him. I failed. I'll get my revenge. One day. I'm not going to be getting my revenge in game 17 because now I'm playing duos with him. While at Polar Peak, we got bum rushed by a duo in planes. And look at how absolutely overpowered the planes are. There was absolutely nothing I could do to defend myself. They're so overpowered. Please get rid of them. Despite their incredible advantage, we destroyed these scoundrels, and nobody got hurt, except Alley Jacks. Deserved. Later on, we got in a dogfight, which are incredibly fun and one of the many reasons I love the planes. After we destroyed their plane, we hopped out and killed them with our guns, because they're more powerful than the planes. Anyway, enough plane defending. We did not win this game. Back to regular old solos in game 18, but the footage largely looks like this. I got 3rd place. Killed a kindergartner during snack time in Polar Peak game 19, and then I died to someone way better than me with a spaz. Average season 7 death, honestly. Landing Dusty Dunction game 20. I love this place. You can probably tell by my skin that I'm looking for bloodlust. So much so that I actually managed to get a kill with the infantry. Dusty for some reason in this game was filled to the brim with noobs, but killing them fills my soul with happiness, so I don't mind. Not everyone was a noob though. I got into a pretty fair build fight, at least until my opponent got sniped. That makes it not fair anymore. In the end though, I just got too bloodthirsty for my own good, but I want the world to know that I don't regret killing this default one bit for national security purposes. There were probably bigger threats on the radar though. Dropped Paradise Palms in game 21 just to take a giant pee break. That pee break turned into a poo break. I'm now getting tickled by the storm. I made it out alive and 10 pounds lighter, but my prospects aren't looking good. In the final circle, I found a default who had either given up on life or was also taking a poo break. Either way, I killed him. Sorry about the constipation, bro. Then I got shot out of the sky like the other guy was playing duck hunt with me. I don't really want to talk about this game anymore. Game 22, I landed Wailing Woods and got everything I could ever want, as always. Definitely looks like Zenith is the new DJ Yonder this season. I mean, it makes sense. All the tier 1 skins are just defaults in disguise. It's just the less popular of the two always seems to be preferred by the absolutely horrible players. Inside the final circle was an expedition outpost with all 3 planes still there. Planes in the final circle might be a little cheap, but you can't deny they're an amazing defensive tool. I'm just taking advantage of that. And if the other players don't like that, they can literally just shoot me down. That's not hard to do. And honestly, the plane gun's not easy to use. I got a little lucky here, but it's pretty hit or miss most of the time. Planes are powerful, yeah, I'm not denying that, but they're not overpowered. And honestly, I think people who cry about them are just scared to shoot at them. They go down easy, just shoot at them. And then when the person pops out of the plane, shoot at them too. My playstyle is pretty conservative. I usually try to get the best positioning possible before going for a kill. And for my playstyle, planes are fantastic. I use them to my advantage a ton in this 100 jobs. The thing is, I rarely kill people with them. I just use them to conserve my materials and get to the best position possible. And I get a ton of wins because of that. I won this game because playing this way forced this guy to push towards me while I was on top of a mountain. It was very easy. I'm just explaining all that because people are probably going to call me bad for using the planes a ton. And the thing is, I am bad, but I want wins just like everyone else. And I'm going to use everything at my disposal to do that. And if you die because of it, you can cry about it. Yeah, like I said earlier, I am pretty bad. I was taking notes on last game and didn't realize I was already at the end of the bus. I'm at Happy Hamlet against my will. I thought I saw a green pump, but it was a pistol, so now I'm scrounging around in the dirt and murdering innocent civilians for the siphon. I really didn't expect to live this long, but here I am. I'm going to fight till my very last breath. I managed to pick up that default spaz, but that's not going to save me from fall damage. Guess I'm going to Valhalla after this.
What? This ain't Valhalla?
It's called Paradise, close enough. I get to live in bliss murdering noobs. It is warrior heaven though. A lot of them have definitely won a lot more battles than I have. In game 26, I tried to bait a guy into a teleporter trap, but then I got teleporter trapped myself. Honestly, massive respect. I love that. I did still get him with mine. I just wish he was lower health. Still adds to the clip though. I plead the 5th on account of game 27. I know I said you should just shoot at the planes, but it's also not a good idea to just stand still while doing so. I had mercy on this man in game 28. I didn't want to ruin his first game. I'm not that much of an asshole. I guess good deeds don't come back around in this land because this guy did not have any mercy on me. I'm trash. Planes aren't, but I still am. Game 30, I landed salty because I hate myself. Oh yeah. Picked up a few kills there because I'm wearing wick and I'm filled with rage. Then I chased a guy over to this house that I still don't know the name of. He thought he was being slick with this wall edit. He wasn't. Fortnite, I don't know if 360 damage is quite right. I later grabbed a supply drop outside of Salty and prayed to whatever god that would listen to give me a spaz. It did. I grabbed a plane because it's season 7 and I'm a pussy. I got into a dogfight above the frozen lake that was once Greasy Grove, but my aim is much better outside the plane. Hey, here's the part where I actually remembered to start recording, and my insurance finally paid up. I saw this build fight raging on at Viking Village that looked insanely easy to shoot down, so I did. One of them died, but the other had gliders. I killed him too. Now it's a 1 versus 1 and I'm taking some risky peeks with my AK against his sniper. But once I hammered on some damage as he was gliding away, I was able to go in with full force knowing I had the superior health advantage. He definitely put up a little bit of a fight, but it didn't take long for me to win without taking a scratch. 7 kill win with Wick. Always feels great. Dropping Salty too, you know that feels good. Game 31, I accidentally hot dropped Polar. That's generally not a good idea, but I accidentally pressed my spacebar. It was completely horrible and filled with people, and when the dust settled, I was dead. Game 32, I dropped Wailing, so as a result, I was completely decked out with perfect loot. I made it to 1v1 because of that. but the other guy made it to a 1v1 because he had 14 kills. Game 33, I landed Lazy Links and fought a guy who was extremely lucky with his first chest, but was also extremely unlucky with the amount of damage he did with it. Later I got in a dogfight above tilted towers. I should be very careful to not crash into any buildings, I'll get demonetized. Though I think blowing up a plane over a highly populated urban area is probably just as dangerous as crashing into a building. It just doesn't invoke any certain historical events. Anyway, I made it to the top 10 and died to Unclarded, full stop. Pretty similar to last game, I stole a spaz again. Looking down at the soccer stadium, I watched Grippy Matt get a bunch of kills live. And much like a spectator at a Houston presidential parade, I sniped the performer. And despite Gripply Matthew clearly being much better than me, I actually did manage to kill him. But his loot fell into his box, and I genuinely have no idea how I didn't see that trap there. Landed Dusty Divot completely uncontested in game 35, and after I was done looting the whole location, this guy on a quad crasher decided to roll up. And now so did everyone in the lobby and their uncle. I'm honestly not sure how I'm still alive in this scuffle with everybody fighting on top of me, but at least I contributed. Oh look, there's yet another guy joining in. I actually did manage to get out of there miraculously enough, I just didn't make it far. My death was quick, but at least my killers came mere seconds later. I'm kept awake at night imagining a world where I hit this snipe. I'm also imagining a world where he would get off my ass. At least this time I'm the one getting a spaz off spawn. I'm not entirely sure what this guy's plan was, but whatever it was, it didn't work. Later in the game I got pulled up on by a roving driftboard. I showed him my own rocket and he ran away. Interesting. I made it to a 1v1 and I think I definitely had a pretty good chance here. That was until I got sniped while gliding. That gave him exactly the confidence he needed to push out and throw me squarely into second place. I've decided I'm gonna be landing Wailing Woods until I win, because if there's any location on this map that'll break my lose streak, it's Wailing. Oh, look at this default in his wood box. How cute. Someone didn't read the manual and it shows. I didn't win this game because apparently everyone got a government issued spaz, except me of course. Still dropping Wailing, of course, I'm having a grand old time. Out by the rock garden I got attacked by a minigun man, but I have read the manual. Now I have a minigun, but I don't need to use it. I know all I need to do is stay exactly where I am. The other two players are fighting on the bad end of the zone. They're gonna get hurt real bad. And they did. Got myself the pacifist ending. You know I still gotta dance though. Game 40 was duos with the gamer coach. Go sub to him if you haven't already. And we won, but I wasn't recording. So all I have is footage of us talking about it in the lobby.
That was all you.
Still counts. Game 41 at least I recorded. There was some more duos with Gamer Coach. We wiped out a duo in Polar Peak, and even though it was only halfway through the game, our prospects were looking pretty good. Looking for bloodshed, we went down to Tilted Towers. This was a horrible mistake. It always is. With Gamer Coach down, my confidence was somehow lower than my health. I knew I only had one shot to make or break this fight, and I did hit it, but it only did 90 damage. But then immediately after killing me, my adversary left. Game 42, back to solos and back to dying to Renegade Raiders with 14 kills. Game 43, I want to learn how to fight, so I'm going to be landing Salty Springs until I win. Salty Springs is pure violence. I don't like it here, but I'm going to have to learn to. I didn't ever get a shotgun, which pretty much means certain death. Neither did I in Game 44, but sometimes a scar is enough. It wasn't. I'm not gonna deny that Salty Springs is loads of fun, it's just despite what my skin might tell you, I'm not built for this. I hijacked that default quad crasher and left early. It was too busy for me this time. Ran into this nerd in Dusty Divot but destroyed him in hand-to-hand combat. I'm a black belt now. The manner of my death after this is classified information. You're not allowed to see it. Sorry. Left Salty early again in Game 46 and now I'm in a very precarious situation in Dusty Divot. But like I said earlier, sometimes only a scar is enough. Survived and made it all the way out to Shifty to kill this mega default in disguise for a very hefty loot upgrade. Then I killed another in the gamer house, but that one was just for fun. In the end, I was pretty close to killing this guy. He was just a better shot. Game 47, I got an infantry rifle. He got a spaz. Of course. Somehow got a kill, but I already know this game's over. I'm cooked. Yup. Am I starting to grow fond of Salty Springs? Maybe, but I was also kind of fond of my win rate. And after the last few games at Salty, that's kind of fallen more than this guy. And in Game 48, I barely made it out of Salty before I died to a noob because a plane kept third partying. So you know what? I'm kind of done with Salty for now. I'm going back to Old Faithful. This was also recorded on Christmas Day, and I got a new graphics card, so hopefully the recording should look a little bit nicer from now on. My performance is also a lot nicer, so that should translate to some better shots too. I made it to the final circle with ease because I didn't land Salty Springs, but this one was going to be hard fought. In the end, I simply just had way better movement with my glider. He deployed way too early, which allowed me to shoot him for the win. In Game 50, I landed Frosty Flights and beat out everyone to become top of my class in flight school. It was a long and vigorous academic process, but eventually I became a flying ace. That fight basically attracted everyone left in the lobby, but I was able to make my grand escape. With 4 people left and one of them being an honorary default, I was pretty confident about winning this game. And now decked out with the 3 absolute best guns in the Season 7 loot pool, I lost. In Game 51, my loot was grand, but my luck, on the other hand, was not. In Game 52, this guy in Loot Lake got embarrassingly close to killing me, but thankfully for my pride, he didn't. This guy, though, was not close to killing me at all. Now, thanks to him, I have a gold scar, a minigun, and a spaz. I could totally win this game. I have everything I need. Oh, my organs! Ah! Alright. Game 53, I got Mothmando on, so you know I'm dropping risky. The block. I never really understood why they removed Risky when they were just gonna move the block next season. It died for nothing. The block school's a giant fucking tank right now, though removing Risky did give me a drinking problem. I mean, Risky at least would have given me a shotgun. Come on. I spent most of the match wandering around the map looking for a shotgun, and the best I found was a green pump. Ugh. Yeah, not super confident in my loot and hearing spazzes galore, I made the coward's decision to stall my plane off the side of the map, and I stayed there until I was forced to move with 5 people left in a moving zone. My plane didn't get shot at once, but I knew it was a 10 tick and I accidentally sent my plane into the storm, so I had to hop out. But doing that allowed me to get into supreme position while the other players were forced to move, and now they have to push towards me. And on top of that, he was clearly running out of materials while I still had 1,000 plus left. And in a situation like that, even with just a green pump, it's kinda hard not to win. This one's for Risky Reels. Rest in peace. In game 54, he had a better shotgun. Gotta give Shifty another chance. I could drop here 1,000 times and never get tired of it. I dropped directly onto a chest that contained a gold spaz. Oh, Shifty, you spoil me too much. After popping a quick heal, I immediately began using the spaz to commit heinous crimes. I should blur this one. It's a little graphic. Not for the faint of heart. This guy probably went to take a piss or something, so while he shot a yellow stream to the toilet, I shot a stream of bullets into his body. Shifty was just popular. It's one of those games, but with a gold pump, I'm not scared of anyone. Getting a gold spaz off spawn is great. You just turn into an inhuman monster because you know you have a better gun than everybody else in the lobby. I left Salty without a care in the world in style. Who needs planes? I didn't need a plane, but I wanted one. So did this guy. Unfortunately, after the events of game 53, strong airport security laws were put in place. Hey young man, that's contraband. You can't have that here. This Lynx had numerous illegal items on her person, so she got a pat down. Look, sorry man, you can't have driftboards around here. You're gonna have to be removed from the premises. My days as a TSA agent now over. I've retired to hunting sitting ducks in Wailing Woods. Yeah, doing that was definitely a mistake. I got pounced on by someone way better than me. And sometimes I sit here dreaming about what would have happened had that headshot done more than 22 damage. I did have another shot to win this fight after that, but I missed it. I almost forgot how solid the Pueblo village is. This place is pretty great. Oh, you know I can't resist a 3-way dogfight. The other 2 pilots bailed because they're too scared of the horrors of war. Pussies, I tell ya. I had died because it wouldn't let me build. Game 57, I'm going Pleasant Park. Not for the win, just for some fun. Sometimes it's good to do that. Pleasant Park's where I like to come if I want all the fighting of Tilted, but some actual time to get my bearings before that starts. The loot at a doghouse wasn't great, but I don't care. I'm fighting this guy with a green pistol. It's fun. And you know, in Fortnite, as long as you have a shotgun, you have a chance. Pleasant's a lot of fun, of course, but it's not for the weak. And I know my place. I'm too weak for Tilted, that's why I come here. And again, I wasn't going for the win, so I was just W-keying everyone with a pulse. Unfortunately for me, people with a pulse includes Gamer Coach, and actually did put up a pretty good fight, but I missed my shot, and he had a spaz. I decided to spectate him. I wanted to see how he did. He won that fight in Tilted with a trap. Good for him. He managed to amass 7 kills, and it was looking pretty good for him, but he probably should have been carrying some gliders. Landing fatal fields with the corn man this time, and my opponent got a crossbow out of his chest. That's rough. I almost got sniped by another guy, but in the holiday spirit of getting gifts you don't want, I returned it. I made it to the final circle in Salty Springs, but died to a guy with 17 kills whose C2 channel I refused to show. Game 59 was a lot of air combat. There was another competitor in the final zone. After his plane was destroyed, Gamer Coach had no choice but to bend to the power of my superior Air Force training. That's also revenge for the fight in Pleasant. Realistically, I probably should have won this one. I had a rocket launcher and more mats than anyone, but I got built into the zone, so my chances were slashed right before my eyes. Don't worry, I'll make up for it in game 60. See, I'm now surprise attacking the best player in the match with my minigun! With him gone, I just went and chilled in my plane without a care in the world. And as the circle got too small for a plane, I hopped out in the best position possible with max materials. As every other player in the match pushed towards me, I bullied them until they succumbed to embarrassment, or bullets. Then it was just me and one other guy, and I had every possible advantage over him. Solid win, but I want more. More wins, more bloodshed, either or, I'm going Pleasant. I got the bloodshed part, but what I didn't get was shotgun shells. Hi, Gamer Coach. Bye, Gamer Coach. Game 62, you bet your ass I'm going back to Pleasant. I pulled a gray infantry and a gray SMG. He pulled a spaz. I won! Somehow. I stayed in Pleasant until I was forced to move and picked up a couple of clean kills while I was there. Wanna see him? Boom! Crack! Shaboing! Peekaboo! See you later. Once I left Pleasant, I went to get the supply drop, where I almost got fooled by this sneaky little bush. Honestly, he probably would have got me if he didn't move there. But while I was fighting him, a fish had the audacity to steal the supply drop. I sent him back to the ocean, where he belongs. And then I sent his little bushy friend right after him. After that, I rifted up to the haunted castle, where I ran into people who, despite my 8 kills, were clearly better than me. A weakness of good Fortnite players, though, is sometimes they'll W-key into completely foolish places. That's exactly what this guy did, so I sent him back to the lobby. Bet that one stung. Oh look, now I'm on high ground with basically max metal, some of the best loot you can get in the game, and 9 kills to boot. I wonder how this one will go. He launch padded off the side of the map and killed himself. You can't make that up. This game will do anything but give me 10 kills. But whatever, that was still an insanely fun game. Yeah, you can't win them all. I got him down to 16, but I guess he had better internet. This is probably one of the most annoying fights I've ever been in. You can probably tell that I want to get this one over with. Got shoved to the end of the bus, so I'm landing Junk Junction in game 65. Yeah, you of course gotta offset the good game with a long string of shitty ones. I was salty about my last death, so I'm going salty in game 66. Salty got real salty real fast with this Zenith's blatant and unapologetic acts of terrorism. It didn't take long for his goons and bodyguards to show up. I was able to fend them off for a little bit, but eventually they got me. With a crossbow. Oh, I shouldn't have gone back to Salty. Why did I go back to Salty? Found a little default by Viking Village in game 68. And then I got sniped by a guy with 9 kills. I wasn't winning that one anyway. Oh yeah, you know what game it is. The style doesn't actually work in game though, for some reason. Wailing Woods being Wailing Woods as usual, I already have everything I could ever wish for, including a belly full of default corpses. I got into a fairly sweaty build fight over at Viking Village, but I do have the supreme power of the soccer skin flowing through my veins. Shortly after, when I got kamikazed by a plane, I tried to be clever, but I was instantly punished. Landed Tilted Towers with some confidence in game 70, but then was instantly reminded why I never land Tilted. Yeah, fuck Tilted, at least in Polar defaults respect the power of old Hefe. I win Polar so much. If I headed to the start out of a game, chances are I went here. It's just after this video, I'm not gonna be able to drop here that much anymore because I gotta work on other videos, but like, I gotta get my drops in. It's my favorite location of all time. I make it to the end pretty much every time I drop Polar, and usually with pristine loot. I mean, look at it. But this time I got by someone who desperately needs to take a shower immediately. Dropping Salty Springs though, I make it to the end game pretty much 0% of the time. I was able to make it out of Salty with a spaz in my life, which is more than most people can say. Oh no, sorry, the voices told me to go back to Salty. Absolutely always listen to the voices in your head. They know what's best for you. I might have had a better chance for the win if I left when I could have, but this is so much more fun, and I don't regret it one bit. I do admit that I'm starting to like Salty Springs, but that doesn't mean it's a good place to come if you want to win. Yeah, I went back there game 73. It was absolutely chaotic. Bullets and crossbow bolts flying everywhere. I actually played pretty well though, I think. I'm not entirely sure how to get by in this place, but boy do I have fun every time I come here. Salty's just pure violence, getting shot at with crossbows while pumping guys behind doors. This guy was being way too annoying literally the entire game, so I disposed of him. Then soon after, I got disposed of. Landed Shifty game 74, you can't hide from me here, I know every angle of this place. Later, this Renegade Raider invited me to dance. I obliged, but I still hate that skin. The zone stayed on Shifty the entire time, so I was just chilling, building bases, having fun. The other guy in the match definitely wasn't having fun though, I know his chair was drenched. He was absolutely insane, and we ended up just building to the sky for like 2 minutes straight. But I knew for fact that I had more materials than him, so if I could just keep height and keep building, I knew I could win. And eventually, I did. It took a while. Game 75 was a tilted zone, I didn't stand a chance. In game 76, I made it to the final circle where I ran into the Jesus Christ of tomato religion lore. He wasn't very good at Fortnite, Tomato Temple's now under new management. It's now 1v1 and I have max loot, max health, max mats, and a plane. Yeah, how'd you think that one was gonna go? You gotta know I'm dropping Polar Peak again in game 77. I dropped down on this poor stage 1 Calamity so hard that I think I gave her a heart attack. Too bad, so sad. Oh, look at this guy thinking he can hide behind a rock. Die! It was generally looking pretty good for me until I got sniped while I was gliding. And usually that doesn't end up working out too well. I'm never making monkey noises again. That was horrendous. I was bushing it up in the final circle, but as of a few years ago, that's illegal now. For committing such a horrid crime, I was handed the maximum sentence. Game 80 is characterized by a small series of pretty nice snipes. Here's the other one, if you were wondering. I don't know, I think I like the first one better. Those gave me a lot of undue overconfidence though, so I was immediately put in my place. Game 81, I was dealt a sniper and some boogie bombs as my only weapon. You can definitely say I tried. This is probably the worst loot I ever have or ever will leave Wailing Woods with. Doesn't matter though, because I shook this Calamity upside down for a lunch money so I'd have enough to buy some cigarettes from the corner store. The circle was ending up over tilted, so I fought for control over this plateau because it's usually the best place to be in circles like this. But because of that, I got very quickly ousted from my position. I never really like final circles in this area. They always end up being pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm out here landing wailing till I win again, and it's been a while. But I'm just gonna get it out of the way this time. Biggins was in my game. Look at how bro built up on a mountain. There's no one there. Who are you fighting? Please leave. At least I lost to him for second place. Didn't really bring down my average. Did some supply drop hunting in game 84, but while I was doing that, I randomly ran into a guy trying to build a sky base. Yeah, dude, that's totally gonna work without gliders. I got into the final circle with my plane. Wow, I wonder how I did that. Then I killed who was definitely the best player in the match at this point. And from there, it was a very easy win. He ran out of mats. In game 85, I got a view out of the Lazy Links clubhouse akin to a certain pair of buildings that used to be in New York City. I was very scared of one guy in the match because I saw his name in the kill feed a bunch of times. But once I saw him die, my confidence went way up, and I had to celebrate a little. Because now I had a chance, and apparently I had so much of a chance that I didn't even really need to do anything to win this one. Just needed to play positioning like I always do. I wanted to give every Battle Pass skin a chance in this video. I haven't worn onesie yet because I really don't like this skin. And the wrap's even worse, just ugh. The loot was great, materials fantastic, confidence I ended up making it to a 1v1, but on 4 health with the storm encroaching, I didn't really make it too far. It was gamer coach, whatever, I'm not mad. Oh no, a plane is attacking me. There's absolutely no way I can counter this. I have no chance. I'm gonna just die. Woe is me. Yeah, I died. I'm dead now. This is me. Plane stalled again. Call me a bot all you want. It's absolutely true. But you'd also have to call this guy a bot because he had the exact same plan as me. Not to give him kill credit though, I dropped into the ocean. He won though, doing nothing. The strat works, and he joined me in the ocean. Respect. The last battle pass skin I haven't shown yet is the Prisoner. I actually quite like the skin. The first game I ever played with Prisoner back in 2018, I won with 13 kills, but I'm not doing that this time. Yeah, I'm not proud of it, but I was just terrified of another guy in the match I saw get like 15 kills in the kill feed. I exited in my plane in 1v1 with not that guy, but another guy who was also pretty good at the game. He expertly built over me literally every time I tried to get height, so I was eventually just forced to cower at the bottom. With no materials and no hope, while I was trying to run to where the new storm was, he tried to line up a snipe, which allowed me to get 2 quick shots in him, winning me the game. An embarrassing win, but a win nonetheless. If I had a nickel for every time I saw people randomly building to the sky without gliders, I'd have like 4 nickels, which is weird. I made it to the final circle again, and Polar Peak was barely looted, as evidenced by this floor loot gold spaz. Unfortunately though, I ended up getting got by the guy who was flying around in a plane all match. Not because of the plane, but because he was just simply better than me. It's all good though, cause gamer coach avenged my honor. In game 90, I went lazy link so I could put some holes in one default. I then dropped the clubhouse, cause I felt like it. I made it to the final circle easily, but then got jump scared by swarm_FNAF. But unfortunately for him, the other guy made it to 6 AM. In game 91, I dropped frosty flights and sniped the guy who was going for a challenge. I feel bad, but that was pretty nice. As I was about to leave with the plane, my flight got delayed because a guy was illegally driving on the runway. I was trying to use my heavy sniper to break into his box, but then I accidentally no-scoped him instead. I used the insane adrenaline rush from that kill to make it to the final circle. Last guy was better than me, so I had to play smart. I got into position and tried my best to hammer on damage and keep pressure so eventually I could win. I did. That one felt good. Was looking to be a good game in Polar Peak game 92 when a guy materialized from a different dimension and erased me from existence. Game 93 was a very chaotic final zone on Polar Peak. I had great loot, but no movement items. The final guy had 10 kills anyway. I got close. That's probably the only good DJ Yonder I've ever seen. In game 94, I dropped somewhere I've never been before. I don't know, I don't really think I like this place. Yep, I think I figured out exactly how Polar Peak got the way it was last game. Yeah, I don't think this guy was licensed in the use of dynamite. I had to put him down. After that, I successfully finished looting Polar and left without incident. I then, plane stalled again. I was kind of terrified of Big Gripper Matthias from earlier in the video. I saw him in the kill feed a bunch. I didn't really want to deal with him. While I was checking the map like a scared squirrel to see if I was still in the zone, the ground disappeared? I honestly don't even know what happened there. What? And like a sick joke, I was sent to spectate Grippy Matt, the guy I was scared of in the first place. Love you, Fortnite. Thanks. I'm down at Happy Hamlet wearing the actually good version of onesie in game 95. Do I even need to mention it? I think I've established plenty already that I'm a massive pussy. Yep, came out in a 1v1 and still sticking to my rat-like tendencies, I immediately went and scavenged from a corpse. And then the other guy went and died to fall damage while I literally wasn't putting any pressure on him. Embarrassing. Sucks to be him, I guess. In case you forgot that at Season 7 in Game 96 I got dive-bombed by a plane. I minigunned with all my might, but sadly, it just wasn't enough. I had just barely touched the ground in Game 97 when I saw Biggins in the kill feed. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. Like a bad TV show from the 90s, Game 97's getting a reboot that absolutely no one asked for. As you can tell, there's kind of a lot going on all at once. Despite all the chaos, though, I actually did manage to pick up a kill by accidentally no-scoping him. Again! But now in a 1v1, I died to a sniper in the regular way. In Game 98, I'm dropping into crates. Seeing as it's getting removed next season and I rarely come here, this is probably the last time I'm dropping here for a long time. You know, I figured since Season 7's its last season in the game, I should drop here at least once in the video. I didn't know they turned it into a dance college, though. That's news to me. There was another Lynx who dropped here too, but she went down just as easy. I made it into a 1v1 with methods that I'm not going to talk about anymore. But this last guy was, and I say this with zero exaggeration, the absolute biggest dork I've ever fought in my life. Ever. I didn't even try and fight him, I just watched it in horror. He just kept cranking, dude. Look, I'm not a zero build kid that cries about building. I like building, but you do not have to go that hard, man. This man's shower has not been in use for 27 years. I bet his chair is absolutely caked in skid marks. I just know he has 13 bottles of piss on his desk because he can't leave his PC to go to the bathroom. And despite not even really attempting to fight him, I lived a little bit longer than I thought I would. Please, for the sake of everyone in your vicinity, your mother, please put on some deodorant. All right, game 99, last Wailing Woods drop of the video. Let's make it a good one. It didn't take me too long to amass perfect loot. Oh, you treat me too well. I then grabbed a plane and took a very expensive flight across the map to Polar Peak. As I sat on the greatest refuge in the circle, I listened in terror as T-Vold got his 16th kill. I'm cool with T-Vold, I'm sure he's happy he's being mentioned here. Hi. I was really just trying to increase my chances by staying on Polar Peak as long as I possibly could, because I thought I was alone here, but evidently I wasn't. I killed that Lynx, turning this game into a 1v1 with T-Vold. Once the storm was no longer in my favor, I jumped down from Polar Peak, ready to fight or die. The storm was moving, and it was moving fast, and neither of us were on the good end of it. Eventually, I lost my height advantage, and I was stripped down to 20 21 health. Out of options, I placed down a quick campfire and took my last 2 minis. I wasn't in a position to try and regain any height, so my only option was to just wait for him to drop on me. Eventually he did, and I hit 1 shot with my gold pump to win the game. Alright, it's finally time for game 100, and I think you know exactly where I'm gonna be dropping. For one reason or another, in game 100, Polar Peak was giga contested, and of course with my luck, I didn't get a shotgun. This guy did though, and now I can take his. But in the heat of the moment, another player with a pump found me, and I accidentally didn't pick up that shotgun. And now I just have to hopelessly run around the castle grounds, juking players and healing up in order to survive. And if you thought my situation couldn't get any worse, now this player with a spaz knows I'm here. I put up a half-decent fight, but you know, he had a spaz, and I didn't. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I really enjoyed making this one. It feels really good to be back making these, trust me. Season 7's my favorite season of all time by far, and I had a ton of fun with these 100 games. And I hope you liked this video just as much as I liked making it. I'd also like to thank everyone for 1,000 subscribers. I mean, at this point we're closer to 2,000, but I just want to thank everyone who supported me in making these silly little videos in the past year and a half. I got a lot more left in me, and I've already started to work on the next 100 drops. As always, a big thank you to Project Era. This wouldn't be possible without them. And if you want to play this for yourself, the link is in the description. I couldn't recommend it highly enough. Also, of course, thank you to Luke the Notable for the inspiration. If you liked this video and you want to see more of them, please don't hesitate. Like and subscribe. Every little bit helps. I need to feed my family, please. So now you've heard me gush about Season 7 for 30 minutes straight, but how do I actually rate it? Overall, considering the entire season, easy 9 to 9.5 out of 10. But personally, I think that early Season 7 was much better than the later part, though Era is specifically hosting 7.40, which is the last version of Season 7, and so I rate that a little bit more of like an 8 or 8.5. I still love it to death, but I do have my issues with its balancing. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Until next time, see ya.